Slick.
Wait till that start hitting that body.
Yeah.
Alvarez hit
different.
that body.
Look how slick. Mike, look how slick he is.
Oh, he's gonna get
in August of 2024 against Israel Madrimov to make him a 4-division champion. That's it. That's all. He hasn't fought since then.
Look, with Crawford, I think gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds.
Mike Tyson's unexpected appearance alongside Canelo Alvarez at the highly anticipated press conference ahead of Canelo's rumored clash with Terrence "Bud" Crawford sent shockwaves through the boxing world.
That Terrence Crawford is simply too small and doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. Iron Mike Tyson, he says that this is a fight that nobody calls for. It's just simply too much of a size difference. Shannon Briggs is the believer in styles make fights, skill set, and the skill set of Canelo Alvarez versus the skill set of Terrence Crawford favors the skill set of Terrence Crawford, not only just to win, but to possibly stop Canelo Alvarez for the first time in his career. Now, Canelo Alvarez is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terrence Crawford is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Terrence Crawford is 4-division champion, undefeated, 2-division undisputed champion. Canelo Alvarez is a 4-division champion, 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion, and reigning undisputed super middleweight world champion with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws.
Especially when the former heavyweight champion issued a fiery warning directly to Crawford. Tyson, known for his brutal honesty and intimidating presence, wasted no time in making it clear that he believes Crawford is stepping into dangerous territory by taking on Canelo.
Crawford could hurt Canelo because Canelo's been in there with Kovalev. He's been in there with Bivol. You know what I'm saying? He's been in there with big punchers. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, how can a guy that's really a 47-pounder, even though he's up in weight, I don't see how he can hurt Canelo. You know what I'm saying? It just feels completely, because your body is different to absorbing a bigger blow. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I sparred the guys in the lower weight classes and they hit me, bro, it's like, no disrespect, but it just feels like you get hit with a pillow. It's just different. It could be a murderous puncher at 147, but if I'm walking around 185 and I'm a solid guy and I'm used to fighting guys, you know, with a different kind of power.
The press conference, already buzzing with tension, erupted when Tyson took the microphone, praising Canelo's power, discipline, and experience.
Gaining too much weight and too much muscle might affect them. If they're thinking of surviving and being able to take a punch and being able to go rounds, then they're trying to maybe go the distance and they'll be happy with that. But I think Crawford's natural talent, Mayweather had it. You know, you guys were just mentioning right now that Crawford, Mayweather never needed to gain weight and never needed to be heavy to be able to beat those bigger guys. I think Crawford's skills, we give Crawford a chance because we know how good he is, how, you know, his skills, his speed, his combinations. But if he's gaining so much weight, he might not be able to do those. He might not be able to have those same skills when it comes to his speed, his footwork, because of the weight. So we'll see. You know, I just hope he's not just training and getting big to survive and go the distance, because maybe that's a win for him. Maybe he's thinking, if I go the distance with him, that's a big win for me. So, you know, I just hope not. I expect Crawford to actually pull up some runs and maybe pull up the fight. But if he's too heavy, too big, he's gonna get hit, and he's gonna have to exchange punches.
While cautioning Crawford that facing the Mexican superstar could be a career-altering decision, Tyson reminded everyone that Canelo's strength in the ring is different from anything Crawford has encountered.
That's his style. Now, typically, Latinos, they got their own style versus melanated black people. Having like more rhythm, more flashiness and panache to their stuff, more swag.
Yeah.
We just fight different than other ethnicities. If you want to throw Amir Khan in there, his ethnicity, he was in and out.
Yeah, that's the European kind of style.
Textbook, you know, but that was his style. Canelo got his style and he mastered it. Terrence Crawford cannot take nothing away from him. He's like freakishly good, you know. He go both sides, southpaw, orthodox, you know, and I feel like he adapt well. But it don't take much to get hit, especially these little 8-ounce gloves. He cannot slip up. He cannot slip up. He gonna have to stay set from bing to bing from round 1 to 12, and he better be in shape. I'm talking about like not 12-round shape. I'm talking about like 16-round shape.
Warning that no matter how skilled Bud is, he's entering a weight division where the punches land heavier, the fighters hit harder, and mistakes are punished severely.
So that's another aspect of that comparison. And yes, you know, exactly what the champ said, exactly what Abel Sanchez said. You know, you're going to put on weight, you're going to be a different fighter. And I can say this even as a fighter as myself. As I've gotten heavier in my retirement, I try and move around the gym. It just feels different. And even when you start camp, you feel different in the beginning than you do at the end. But listen, we're still 4 or 5 weeks away. I don't know exactly what Terrence is weighing right now. And even if he does say what he weighs, man, he's gone out there and said he's weighed, you know, all types of crazy numbers just to get media to respond. So it's really not really going to know until the fight and we see these guys next to each other. He might look bigger right now, but he might not be that heavy. He might still be in the range that these guys are targeting for the fight itself. But I will say this, if you look at it historically, Floyd Mayweather, when he fought Canelo Alvarez, Floyd was 36 years old. Canelo was a young man. I think he was 21 or something like that, or 23, under 23, whatever the case may be. Floyd came in how Floyd always comes in. He didn't try to put on weight for that fight. I think he came in 150 pounds, like he always did in his big fights, and even at 36 years old. And it was his speed, it was his technical proficiency, it was his skill and his jab, which is what gave Canelo fits all night long and eventually why he lost 11 rounds to 1. So I don't know that Crawford really needs to be packing on this muscle. And I have actually argued in my own head. I'm like, yeah, but he's older. He's not.
As cameras flashed and reporters scrambled for quotes, Tyson looked directly at Crawford and said, "You might be the pound-for-pound king right now."
He was on the undefeated phenom. He said that he sparred Canelo Alvarez. And he hit Canelo Alvarez with his best shot. His best shot. This is a power puncher. Yeah, he's smaller than Canelo Alvarez, but let me further explain. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing. Nothing. And some of y'all gonna be like, but yo, that's Virgil Ortiz, he's smaller. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Triple G. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing versus Kovalev. Kovalev killed the man in the ring. Canelo Alvarez didn't feel nothing with Danny Jacobs. Canelo Alvarez wasn't even demoralized by Dimitri Bivol. He just got outboxed. He didn't hurt Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez, you see how we say Iron Mike Tyson? Well, Canelo Alvarez has an iron chin. Terrence Crawford. And also, put it this way, also, after the fight with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez, and I spoke to Jermell Charlo. Jermell Charlo basically said that, yo, Canelo Alvarez couldn't feel my punches. I hit Canelo Alvarez with 2 left hook and he didn't even feel nothing. Jermell Charlo was Iron Man Jermell Charlo. The 154-pound undisputed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's not active right now, but we all know he was an undisputed, a knockout artist that got all his belt by knocking out every opponent to become undisputed, ladies and gentlemen. Canelo Alvarez has gotten hit with the most devastating punches in his generation, 175 and 160. Fought the likes of Kirkland that was known for power.
But when you step into that ring with Canelo, you're going to be dealing with a whole different animal. This isn't just about skill, it's about surviving those first few rounds.
Bud is 37. So you give that edge to Canelo because in boxing, youth is a commodity. Height. Canelo is 5 feet 7.5 inches tall. Terrence Crawford is 5 feet 8 inches tall. So you give the slight edge to Terrence Crawford right there. The reach. Canelo is 70.5 inches tall. Terrence Crawford is 74 inches tall. which gives him an almost 4-inch reach advantage. Their weight, Canelo is a middleweight and Bud is a lightweight middleweight. Records. Canelo is 63-2-2, 39 knockouts. Bud is 41-0 with 31 knockouts. Canelo's last fight was a victory over William Skull. It was a unanimous decision on May 3rd, 2025. Bud last entered the ring on August 3rd, 2024, where he defeated Israel.
His words carried the weight of experience, given his own career battles against legends in the sport. Canelo, standing beside Tyson, smirked confidently, clearly encouraged by the heavyweight icon's endorsement.
I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot, but stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, what was it, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is, chasing it.
Yeah, and I've heard that before. Like, some people said if you see him at 154, he fought a Madrimov, and you saw how much he got touched. Obviously, it's 2 different fighters. But why do you think he should probably? You think he should have probably taken another fight, maybe at 160 or maybe another one at 168?
You need to build into it a bit. I think the fight with Madrimov was his first fight at
154.
At 154, and listen, you're still developing and growing into that weight. You could have done with a couple more there, then moved up to 160, but it's all being done as a bit of a rush. So he's not going to be fully. He's not going to have time to put the muscle on to build into the weight, and he's obviously going to do it with the intention of getting back down to 154 and taking on other challenges. So it's not a long-term goal for him to stay there, but like I say, Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. I remember watching him beat a good friend of mine, Ricky Burns, and it's like since that day I was just, my ears pricked up and I took notice, and every time Terence Crawford boxed.
Crawford, however, didn't back down, responding with a cool demeanor that he respects Tyson's opinion, but has no fear of Canelo or anyone else.
Okay, but we have to break some things down into perspective here. First and foremost, Terence Crawford is a very strong 147 pounder. He's not a regular guy. He's not a regular 147 pounder. Another thing is, he's an extremely determined fighter. That guy's a winner. He's cut from the same cloth as the Andre Wards, the Floyd Mayweathers. You only get certain fighters that come across in a decade that have that kind of aura and that kind of determination to win. Now, if we want to break it down fundamentally, don't get me wrong. Canelo is a strong fighter. He's proven himself. He got a great chin. He's fought some of the best fighters that you can ask for. But he's not that much bigger if you ask me. They're about the same size and height. Now, don't get me wrong. He's a little bit wider. He's a little bit, thicker, right? Like, as far as his frame goes. But we got to be honest here, man. He's not that. It's not like we're fighting Benavidez here, okay? We're fighting a guy that he can still get his jab off. He can still use his footwork. He can still use his defense to go ahead and evade some of these punches. You know what I mean? So for me, Terence Crawford is going to be, if Canelo goes in there and underestimates Crawford's strength, that could be a mistake, okay? It only takes a few pounds of pressure to hurt a guy. You don't need to be that big of a guy to hurt a guy. So, at the end of the day, Crawford is a threat as well if Canelo goes in there and overestimates his weight and his size. I've seen bigger guys get knocked out by smaller guys in the gym all the time with headgear on and 16-ounce gloves. So we have to just take a few things into
stating that his skill set, fight IQ, and adaptability will neutralize Canelo's power. The exchange created a moment that boxing fans will remember, igniting even more excitement for a potential showdown between the two champions. Tyson went on to remind the press and audience that fighters moving up in weight often underestimate the physicality of the bigger division, citing past examples where elite champions were dismantled by stronger opponents despite technical advantages. He praised Crawford's heart, but doubled down on his belief that Canelo's body shots and ability to cut off the ring would be the deciding factor. Social media exploded within minutes, with fans debating whether Tyson's comments were genuine advice or a psychological tactic to back Crawford into a corner. Many pointed out that Tyson has a long-standing respect for Canelo's work ethic and views him as one of the few modern fighters with an old-school mentality. As the press conference wrapped up, Tyson shook hands with both fighters, but left the lingering image of him standing shoulder to shoulder with Canelo, a symbolic gesture that fans interpreted as him picking a side. Whether Tyson's warning will rattle Crawford or fuel his determination remains to be seen. But one thing is certain: this moment has added a new layer of intrigue to what is already shaping up to be one of the most anticipated boxing events in recent memory.